Okay, Kitty Pies, it's December 25th, 2023, and the year's coming to a close, and pretty much worked all day on the 60 bug restoration, and I thought I'd give you an update on what I did today, this week. So, last week I kind of buttoned up that area there, the rear body mount area on the right side. I still have to do that patch panel there, but today I was concentrating on making this left side body mount area, shock, strut, or whatever area. Now these aren't easy to do. This takes some time. This took me probably a good 8 hours to make all this, because basically all this was rusted. This was rusted. So even the mount here had a lot of considerable rust in between the sheets of metal there. So I had to separate all that. I had to clean up all that rust and re-weld those. Separate this bracket here from here. And you can see I made all this in here. Not easy to do. So when you make that, you also have to make it look good on the back side. So if you look under here, see how I had to make that flange all up in there? Make that look good up there, so. And then you have to make it look good up under here, that gutter there, on that quarter. So I'll be welding all that flush. You won't tell it was ever worked on. But you can see here, I had to make all that in there. And that's 2 pieces of metal. Once again, you have to make that inner rain gutter there. So you can see Broadway blasting, how he blasted all up underneath here. So looking good. So there's the that was done. Glad that's done, because it gave me a run for my money, like I said before. This one was a little easier. This one was a little more rusted than the other side, so it took me a little more work, but at least I knew how to do this from the other side. So I'm going to be cutting and butting this. Cut and butt, which is cut it and weld it, cut it and weld it, cut and weld it as you go. Down here, I got the Classic Fab patch panel for the quarter. Now this quarter wasn't rotted all the way through on the front there, so I just patched it here, and I tell you, this lined up pretty good. I test fitted the fender, and it fits pretty good. All the bolt holes lined up for the fender is really good. Now in the cross members, you see here, those German cross members, I got those from CIP1. Those are the German ones. They're pretty good, but they don't fit really good in the corners here. You have to cut a bunch away. This stud here is pretty far back. I got to cut that and move that stud forward. It's just too far back. This radius was wrong. You have to make that radius right to match up to the quarter panel here. And then you can see here, I had to make this piece will slide in down in here. It's made up to that other quarter panel there. So not bad, that's all done. And then today I had to make a patch panel in that, under that rear seat there. I'll be welding all that later. I gotta finish making a patch panel there, and then some work up in there in the corner there. So lot of tedious work, takes time. So I got a lot done today. So basically this left side is almost done. I just have to make that corner there up under the seat here, finish up all that. I got my A and B pillars tacked. This door gap is looking good. Door shutting good. Once again, I reamed it out oversized new pins for the door. You can see there I made a patch panel for that front apron there, or the front, front apron quarter panel there. So all I gotta do is cut and butt, weld that up. I'm good to go. So I thought I'd give an overview of the quality of the parts that I did on this, because I'm almost done. So basically all I have to do is, I'm going to replace the front firewall there. It's rotted in the corners. A lot of people patch them. I think it's just as easy just to replace it with whole panels. I don't like patching if I don't have to. I did it here because it was less intrusive. Now on this side here, I replaced the whole bottom. So, because it was more rusted on this side, on that bottom. Now I just found out this morning, I woke up in BBT in Belgium there, or wherever they're from in Europe, they just finished their quarter panels. So if I'd known that a year ago, I probably would have waited and bought a quarter panel, and it would have saved me all this work here. But their quarter panels are for ovals, it looks like. So this area was going to be a little different. So you would have to cut this off and weld it on that quarter panel from BBT. Make it look error correct for 1960, 58, 59, 60. So now I'm going to rate these panels. So the Classic Fab heat channels, I'm going to rate it from 1 to 10, 10 being the best. Classic Fab, I'm going to rate them in two ways. I'm going to rate it at fit and how they stamp them and how they look with the stamps. So on this here, I'm going to rate the stampings on the Classic Fab. I'm going to rate the stamping a 9. They have a little, very good, right? You can see they hand make it. Very close to a 10, I'd almost give it, but I'm going to give it a 9. And fit, I'm going to give it a 10. That fit is perfect on these things. You don't have the ugly, like Clocker Home, they always, sometimes we'll have that bump here for the later. This is error correct. Looks like it came off from 1960. Fits good up there. Fits good in here. Fits good here. In the back there, mates up good with everything. Very nice quality. Even on the bottom there, the stampings look good. So I'm going to give the stamping a 9, fit a 10 on that. Now, these are the Classic Fab front firewall. I'm going to give that stamping on that probably an 8, because you see there and there in the top there they have that little slit there. That's not here, and I went to put it before I put the body back on. I put this on the front there, and it wasn't stamped exactly perfect, but it'll work with the gasket though. So I'm going to give that an 8. I'm going to give, so I really don't know how to fit, but I put it up there, it looks like it should fit, so I'm going to give it like a fit, an 8 or 9 on that. Now that panel there is from that company in Finland. That's the front of the firewall. I fitted that on there, just dry fitted it. I'm going to give the stampings on that a 10, and I'm going to give the fit on that another 10. That panel is really nice. Very good quality from that company. Now those cross members in the back there, the right and left, the ones I got those from CIP1. They're from Germany. I'm going to give the stampings on those an 8. The stampings were okay. In there they look good, but on the corners here, I had to do a lot of work to get them to fit. They just don't. They're not year specific. They're probably for later years, so you have to cut and make them fit. They don't fit exactly good right in here. I have to move that. This area seemed like it was a little too low, so the radius was wrong here. So I'm going to give that stamping probably a 7. The fit, I'm probably going to give it an 8. So it does work. That's all you have out there right now, so that's what you have to go with. And they don't look that bad. They'll look good once I get done there. Now this back here area, this area in here, I wish somebody would make these error correct. I know the ovals were different. The later models were different. And they always change. It seemed like every couple years these body mount areas change. So I wish somebody would make those. I'm pretty sure they're not because there's so many different ones. Now the Wolf Parts, they make this piece here. I think he's from Sweden, Wolf Parts. I'm gonna give the stamping on that, I'm gonna give that a 10. And I'm gonna give the fit on that a 10. That's another really good panel. Well worth the money. I had no issues with that fitting. High quality all the way on that. Now the Autocraft rear H panel here. Very good panel, very heavy duty. Seems to be a lot heavier duty than the panel that came off there, the original. I'm gonna give the fit on this a 10. It fits really good. But I'm gonna give the stamping, I'm gonna give it an 8 because these stamps are a little wrong here. These H panels, these H here is a little fatter, and on the original cart, that H dips below this line here. So I'm gonna give that an 8, a 10 on a fit on that. Very good quality. Like I said, once again, that's basically all we have. I know Wolf Parts makes them, but he doesn't make them for 1960. He makes them for 55 and down. You can see here how everything lines up good with those two panels. You can see how inside here, everything looks good. So two very good panels there. What other panels do I have here? Those are the Brazilian fenders. They're just, I'm surprised they fit as good as they did. They fit pretty decent for what they are. You could see here, I was bending this to fit the, down in the corners there, split the paint, the primer, little body fill. I'm gonna have to redo that, but that's why I did this now, so I could fix it later. Those are what they are. I know BBT is coming out with some rear fenders. Hopefully they're a lot better quality. I had to go with the Brazilian ones because that's all I had. I had to redo everything. I had to weld and re-drill the holes for the snowflake taillights. I had to drill the drain holes for the bottom there because they didn't have those. So you got to do some work on them, and those are for 58 and 59. And this is a 1960. They didn't have those bumps there by the bolts. So hopefully BBT can come out with some good stuff. Now this is an older Wolfsburg West running board. The fit here is terrible, really garbage. What I'm gonna do is take this apart, and I'm gonna have to work this here to fit the fender. I put the original fender back on, the back there, and it looked even worse with the original fender on it. So I know it's the running board. I'm gonna have to make that work. You can see down there, I got that patch panel made. I just used what's left over from the classic Fab Quarter patch panels and used that metal. So that patch panel is done. So got the engine. Probably gonna put new jugs. End play on this is very minimal. It's a good engine. I have the distributor coming from NOS this week from Houston, Texas. I had the Volksbits carburetor, very good quality, awesome. So you can see here I have the, this is the old body mount areas that I cut out of the car and fabricated. You can see how water gets in there. So when I do this, it's gonna be all seam sealed so no water gets up in there. I bought I found a new old stock heat riser intake manifold from John's Car Garage up in Westminster, Vermont. He had a new old stock one. I couldn't believe it. I'll have that coming. That was clogged. I did get it unclogged, but I had to repair a bunch of pinholes in it. There was a bunch of pinholes in here I had to re-weld, so I really wanted to go with see if I can get a better one than that. So I got a new one. So that's the German seals for the doors. Very good quality there also. So just another update, and give you what I think of those new patch panels. Years ago, you couldn't get a good patch panel for these cars. Everything was Clocker Home garbage. The only way you can get a good patch panel was either you paired it or hopefully you got a new old stock panel from Volkswagen, which now isn't possible. BBT, my hat's off to them. They're making some really good panels today. So hopefully they keep it up. Now I hope BBT sees this. I hope you could make some kind of a patch panel for down in underneath that rear seat there. They always rust there. You're making the outer quarter panel. Just make a patch panel we could, use to repair the rust that's always in these under the rear seats. Okay, make that panel there. So they're pretty much universal through the years. So they're making some good floor pans in the back there for the luggage area. This one didn't need it. This one was pretty solid. Okay, I didn't have to take that out. So okay, kids, so just an update on the 60 bug restoration. Hopefully by the next Monday, will be the 1st of January, I can have all these panels fitted and ready to weld the car up. Now I have all the bolts in on all the mounts there. I got the bolt in down there on that side. I got the pan bolts in. I have that bolt in there with the rubber gasket. And I have the front bolts in too. So the car is back on the pan. Everything's fitting good. The door's looking good. Door's shut good. So after I finish up these panels, I can weld it and I'll be good to go. Okay, kitty pies.